You sure you're ready?
See. No, God no.
No, you're not, because we're live.
Are we live?
I
Did you
changed
get me
my mind.
again?
I always get you.
You
Hello,
always get me.
hello world. Welcome to Good Times Roll, the show where we clearly have killed off 2 of our characters because there's only 4 of us here. That's not true. This is a very exciting occasion because we, as a D&D group, have been streaming. Well, how long have we been streaming now? This last week's was episode 17, so we've been streaming.
2 years. Shit.
Well, we've been playing for like 2 years online, but we've been streaming for like a couple months, I guess it'd be now. 3 or 4 months? I don't know. I forgot when we started. But
No, I think we're going on 6-7 months at this
really,
point.
I was gonna say,
feel
well,
like we
doing the
started
math,
in October or something.
four per month. Yeah, at least 4 to 5 months. Damn, awesome.
We kind of miss a lot too.
True.
Yeah.
And that's my next point was, as a group of 6, whenever we're missing 2, we all kind of decide, we'll probably just skip tonight because there's no point in doing the regular campaign. They're gonna, players missing stories, no fun. But so we decided, hey, wouldn't it be cool as if on those nights where we're missing 2 players, we could still play. So we came up with a little kind of a secondary campaign that's gonna run alongside our main campaign. And we'll just play. We'll play it a lot less often because it will be only when we have 2 people missing, which realistically isn't like all that often, but it happens enough where we're like, why don't we do something about that? So this is a brand new beginning coming up here, and if you guys are ready, we can get into it. Do you have any questions before we get started? Players of mine.
I think we're good. I'm good.
I have a question for you guys.
Did Rogar ever actually make a character?
Rogar did make. Well, Chase made a character. He won't be Rogar anymore. At least till the next time. But
entirely new person.
I know he's a new person. He's actually probably the most interesting choice of class I would have guessed for Chase to pick. So I'm excited to see him play it. But I have a question for you guys.
Like a hippie druid?
What?
No, that would be awesome, actually.
Yeah.
A what?
A hippie druid.
A hippie druid, one of those guys.
Not just a druid, but a hippie druid.
Hippie druid. Because they're not hippies already.
They're not hippies enough. But I actually have a question for you before we start. We talked about it off stream last time, but how do you guys feel about a table rule of if there's ever a role that you want to make, but you feel like it's metagaming or you feel a little iffy about it, I can make it for you. So like, let's just for example say like you see something and you maybe want to make an insight check, but you're not sure your character would really do that in the moment, but you're like, I kind of don't trust this guy. Can you roll an insight for me? That's something I could do, and then I could role play the result, and you wouldn't maybe know whether or not I rolled high or low for you, but it could be something to try.
Okay, I like that actually.
That specifically would work with my character.
I feel like it gives you guys a little more freedom to just like try things and not really like. I mean, obviously you don't abuse it, but like just knowing your characters, and once you start feeling them out since they're new characters, maybe it'll give you an opportunity to kind of like lean into that kind of stuff. Just an option. And then also put the potential for me making stealth checks for you instead of you guys making stealth checks.
I do like that.
That's fine.
Because I always
That
forget
is a little bit more interesting.
Because then you guys really wouldn't know if you're well hidden or not. Maybe you wouldn't do as much
I
crazy
actually
stuff.
love that.
I guess that's more realistic. So.
Yeah, because because realistically, like I'm technically rolling the perception checks of like the people who might be looking for you too. So guys don't know that stuff. So it kind of is the same concept or the same principle. Okay, well then we'll do that if it becomes relevant. Like you guys are gonna have to sneak it all. You guys will be fine. There's no sneaking at all in D&D. There's no reason to be stealthy in D&D. Just run through every door, never knock, never check for anything. Just that's my advice to you.
Nothing ever goes wrong.
How you were supposed to play it. That's what you guys always do. So I just assume.
You just assume like they keep running through doors. I don't know if this is right.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it obviously works.
Also, want to see what I'm drinking tonight? It's very interesting. I took a gamble last weekend. Me and my girlfriend went out for a party, and we were like, we don't really know what to get, and we went to a corner store and looked in like the fridges. They had canned pre-made mixed drinks,
Bourbon
cola.
So
That
she
sounds
got like a
questionable.
gin and like blue lemonade or like blue raspberry lemonade thing, and I got this bourbon and cola in a can, and they're actually like
Surprisingly
not
good.
bad. Like they're very sugary, of course, like as you can imagine, I'm sure, but
Bourbon and cola is a pretty good drink.
not bad.
Hell
Not bad at
yeah.
all.
That's
All right, you kids ready?
Yes.
All right,
Ready as
I will begin with an excerpt from the catacombs. Okay. So, you guys made characters, and you guys have a little bit of knowledge about the backgrounds. I guess not every one of you, because some of us made our characters like last night. But that's neither here nor there. Either way, because you're level 5, that means you guys have had a bit of an adventuring career, whether or not that's actually adventuring or just doing enough out in the world that you've kind of gained some abilities and you're pretty good at what you do. So, be it winding road or ways unknown, you've all arrived in the ancient city of Kantanagi. It is a large, lively desert town filled with exotic lifestyles and even more exotic people. The great billowing reds and blues of the many flags that mark the streets make for a grand entrance as you wander the city's rich roadways. It is just after dusk, and the street traffic is light. People have begun to turn in to either a home or a tavern, whichever suits their needs. You, and you walk alone this evening, so you guys aren't together. You've traveled far from your home to answer the call of a mysterious Idlemind. Each of you received, whether it was a letter from a carrier or some sort of word of mouth, that you needed to come to this place to seek answers from an Idlemind, to be judged, or something, to be proven worthy. As curious adventurers, you answered the call. Each of you were summoned to a tavern called the Porcelain Periton. It lies on the southern edge of the town, and it's buried in the darker, tightly packed buildings of the area. As the wide streets turn to tightly wound street corners, you each weave your own path to where this mysterious note guides you. Eventually, you find a large, sculpted head of a periton, hawk-like body and wings with the majestic head of an elk, protruding from the upper storefront of a dimly lit enclosure. Sure enough, the sign outside reads, Porcelain Periton. However, now you are not alone. 2 other people have also come to this outcropping of a tavern and have joined you at this juncture, and the look on their faces seems to mirror your own feelings. So we're going to go down the line. Chase, would you describe what your character looks like, please?
Well, right now my character is about a 5-foot elvish woman. She's wearing a cloak. She has a spear in her hand, and she's kind of looking around. Not really trustworthy of any of you. She kind of leans over and says, "Or do we know why we're all here yet?"
You don't know if you know why you're here. You're not sure if they're here for the same reason.
Okay. Kind of lean over and like, so who are you two?
Okay, that's a good description. Kyler, if you want to describe what your character looks like, please.
He is a 6-foot tall tiefling. He is wearing just a black robe, underneath it leather armor. He's red-skinned, and he's got very dark hair. He is also carrying a spear. And he kind of leans in. He's like, I mean, I know why I'm here. Do you know why you're here? Fucking elf.
Oh, shit. Okay. You can give you a chance to respond to that if you want, Chase. Otherwise,
So you're
Just kinda
tiefling.
muttered.
yeah, he's tiefling.
Yes.
Well, when I was called by some idol, some kind of voice in my head told me to come here. I figured I should come here, see what it's all about. Didn't know I'd be accompanied by half demonic scum, but who knows?
You know, you didn't have to make it personal.
Starts crying.
Half the demonic scum was not okay. I'm not crying, my eyes are just dry.
You like Count Chocula?
I guess.
I'm just kidding. That was me. All right, and then
No,
Zach,
no,
if
okay.
you'd like to describe what your character looks like, please.
So my character is about a 5'10" Eladrin elf. So my skin is kind of tan with like a slightly green tint to it along some of the like thinner parts. Brown hair, kind of just pulled back into a tight ponytail, a tight short ponytail, and wearing leather armor that's kind of been stained green with little pieces of like more bright, like green and yellow fabric, kind of popping out in different places. I've got a fairly large bow over my back that's just very natural. It's just like different interwoven branches that seem to be very stiff and pull taut, and then 2 rapiers on my hips. It just kind of goes, gentlemen, you should just calm down. Sorry, miss.
I'm a female.
She started it.
And it'd be a shame to see her finish it.
What are you saying?
I'm saying that money would
You're
be on
saying
her.
I can't handle myself in a fight?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying my money would be on her.
I mean, I probably can't, but come on.
Come on, let's go grab a drink. And I like pat you on the shoulder and then walk inside the bar.
Is that me, or is that...
You.
Well, if you are buying, then I will take this drink. That is fine.
Trying to place your accent, I can't do it. I don't know what it is, but it's wonderful.
It's like a... It's not like Russian, it's like
Yeah,
Ukrainian or
yeah,
some
it's
shit.
like just Eastern Europe.
Like
kinda.
Transylvania.
Yeah, it's very yes. Oh, that's okay. That's it. Nice job. Okay, so do you all walk into the bar?
Yes.
Yep.
So make a Constitution saving throw. I'm just kidding.
Oh.
No.
was
And
ready.
as you guys were standing out here conversing, and as you guys all made your way to the bar, like I said, street traffic was pretty light. But as you were all talking out there, streets were empty. It seems to be like almost closing time in some sections of the city, but it's like also opening time in some of the more kind of densely packed parts of the city. But like I said, you're on the southern part of the town. You're in like this tightly packed, almost like back alley. It seems like a back alley dive kind of bar. But lights are on, so you walk inside, and I will switch you over to a new thing on the Roll20.
Ooh.
Get you some tavern music. Yeah, that's right. So as you walk in, it's a pretty quaint little place. Like I said, kind of hole-in-the-wall back alley tavern is the best way to describe it, I would say. But you walk in, and there's a couple of tables kind of set up out in the open. There's a few booths along the walls, and it's very much Applebee's in its like wall decorations, just like plates and pictures and random artistry, drawings, tavern mugs, tankards, all sorts of things all over the walls. You don't see anyone actually in the bar, and you do see what looks to be along the right side of the entranceway as you walk in. There's a long wooden bar with some stools, and behind it, kind of a scrawny-looking, probably like average height man. He's got kind of a reddish-brown hair, just messed, and he's kind of like almost facing away from you. He looks like he's just cleaning a couple of glasses. But he does hear you guys enter because there's a bell on the door. And he kind of pokes his head over and looks at you and says, "Oh, right, getting the night started. Take a seat. If you want to sit at the bar, or you can take yourself a table. I'll get you some food shortly, all right?"
All right.
I
Okay.
will sit down.
All right, do you sit at the bar or you sit at the table? Where do you want to
Sit
go?
at the bar.
Okay.
I'm gonna sit down right next door.
Okay.
I'm gonna sit slightly away at the table, but like still close so I can be like included.
Like one stool open in between the two, like the two of you.
Yeah.
Okay, so you all sit, and Kyler's character sits, and his tail kind of whips nervously back and forth behind him, out from behind underneath his robes, and but the bartender kind of looks you all over and says, "Oi, welcome to the Porcelain Parrotin. My name's Edmund. What can I get for you? Would you like some drink, some food? What are we having tonight, fellas?"
A pint of your,
Miss, of course. So sorry.
finest beer, please.
Finest beer. All right. We got a couple of good brews in over here, and you kind of look behind him and you see the tabs, and you're like, there's like 3 tabs. You're not really sure. You're not really sure about this place. He seems oddly proud of it, but you're like, okay. All right, Edmund.
You just go find me which one you like best.
All right, I'll give you my favorite. What can I get for you? And he looks at you, Zach, your character.
I'll take that one. And I just point at like a random one. I don't know what they are. I just
All
point
right.
at one of the kegs.
That's a good eye. That's my favorite one too. You're gonna get the same one. That's very good. All right. And for you, you dashing looking fellow, you. I love the horns, by the way.
Oh, I thank you. That is very kind of you. I will take some vodka. That is what I will take, yes.
All right. He kind of leans in a little bit. He says, "Just so you know, we don't really get a lot of that around here, but I do have a bottle in kind of the back office. It's not really... It's something. I don't know how good it is, but it should do. It'll do you good."
All right.
Are you guys hungry? Or do you just want drink tonight to start?
Well, I would like some food.
All right.
Also, you don't get much liquor. You're a bar.
Well, we don't have... Okay, so listen, it's not a big deal, but we kind of got into some stuff recently with a bit of a... let's just say the old owner was getting his booze from kind of a not good place. A place that was audited to have lots of illegal stuff going on. So
Wow.
a lot of our stores got kind of taken by the city guard. And I don't have a lot right now. I'm still working on getting some back. That was like last week, unfortunately. So I've only got a few kegs and whatever else we've scrounged about. So I really am sorry. Normally we have a little bit of a better selection, but yeah, we do have some liquors, just not a lot of vodka.
Wow, that sounds like a big deal.
It was pretty unfortunate. I mean, it got me a raise. I was not planning to be a tavern owner so young in my life, but here I am, doing my best.
I will still take that vodka, though. I don't care if you're
Of course,
running well.
of course. And then you want some food? We have some grits. I can make you some. We have a couple of different meats to choose from. If you like steak or chicken, I got a couple platters for that. Maybe get some greens on there for you. What are you thinking?
I'll take a steak and a chicken.
Steak and a chicken for you. All right.
I just kind of look at her. I'll do some chicken and some greens.
Okay, chicken and greens for you. And are you hungry, sir? Pointing at you.
Yes, I will take some chicken, and this is all on this man's bill, and I point. Zach's scared. Is it Irish?
Well, you guys haven't introduced yourselves
back
yet.
and I'm like,
Oh, okay, true.
He's paying for my bill too.
I don't believe I ever said that, but
He's
That's
a very kind man.
It's very
He does
kind.
a lot for us.
I would pay for the.
He
kind
said he'd do it outside.
That's very kind of you. And also, by the way, I really love your look. You're very exotic looking. Are you from around here? Looking at you, Zach.
Well, no, I can't say I am. I'm kind of over from the Great Woods, and been traveling around a little bit.
That's pretty far, if I do recall. I haven't looked at a map in a bit, but that's like on the other side of the world. Shit. Well, welcome to Cantanagi. I hope your stay is great. I don't know how long you're gonna be here, but the porcelain parroting will do you good. All right.
Oh well, thank you. Do
Okay,
appreciate it.
and he kind of like doesn't even let you finish your thought. He just is like, okay, all right, and he just like kind of ducks back behind the bar. There's a door behind the bar, and you hear some clattering of plates and a little bit. And now you have some time amongst yourself if you guys want to chat, or up to you.
I'm gonna like quickly like scooch over towards them and just kind of whisper and be like, "Heh, joke's on him. I'm not actually of age to drink."
Kind of look down. Like, because I assume I'm on the stool, so I'm looking down, right?
Well, you're all on stools.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like bar height stool, like kind of an average, you know.
Well, I won't tell if you want.
Oh, that's right. I'm on a table. All right.
Oh yeah, I thought you said like
I
at the
forgot
bar,
about that.
a chair away.
Just look at him and go, well, I won't tell if you won't tell. So, how old are you?
Wouldn't you like to know?
I mean,
I'm also
Yes,
just 18.
I wouldn't have asked otherwise.
Well, I'm 18 years of age. I am single, and I like dark, spooky nights. And they really gets me excited.
That's excellent for you. I'm not quite like that.
Kyler, in your mind, you hear.
This
Anyways,
is gonna
the
be
name's-
like, he thought that was funny. Yes.
That's concerning.
Oh, sorry.
the
What
name's-
was your name?
The name's Io. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Oh, nice to meet you. I am Nazarene. My friends just call me Naz, but I don't have any friends. Except for one. I have one friend. He's a good friend.
Is all right.
And at this point,
Pointedly turn to the seat beside me and just go. And who might you be? And who might you be, friend?
At this point, before that kind of gets going, Edmund pops back out with 3 tankards. He has actually just chucks the bottle over the bar to you, Kyler, and it's like it's a fifth, but it's probably got like that much left in it from like the full fifth. So he's just like,
Okay.
yeah, so that's all we got, but hopefully it'll do you good. And then after he slides over 2 tankards, slams them in front of you, and he's like, I'll be right back with your food, and he goes back behind.
Nice.
He seems a strange fellow. Anyways, what was your name, miss?
I take a big drink of my pint and then I kind of slam down the table. Name is Kieran. And
Yeah.
I'm just elf about 120 years old.
That's specific.
Probably a little bit older than the demonic tiefling over here, but
Just a little bit.
You're not that old.
No.
Kind of laugh and just go. Well, it's pleasure to meet you. Did you two know each other?
No.
no.
I don't
You
know
had
her.
seem to have a thing outside.
I just don't like people.
Yes, it's just called racism. We have it sometimes.
Jesus.
All right. Well, for the record, I don't have a problem with either of you. So,
I mean, not that I have a problem with you, fucking elf.
see, you say that, but then you also said "fucking elf" under your breath. So it mixed messages here.
I do the same thing for humans, for dwarves, not for other tieflings, because they're way better. But, I mean, I'm just saying,
In your defense, fucking dwarves, am I right?
fucking dwarves, they're the worst.
I hate dwarves too.
Edmund's a dwarf, by the way. Just kidding, he's not.
Oh, okay.
Which
Say
at
a
this
little bit
point,
louder for our man.
no, yeah, at this point he actually bursts out of the door and he's like, "Are you talking shit about dwarves without me? Fuck those little assholes."
God.
I tell you what, I was raised in a forest town not far from here, and it's right next to a little mountain village, and it's all dwarves, and they're all assholes, man. They come over and they take all your food, and they're loud and they're mean. I don't like them either. I'll drink to that, and you see him just pour himself a little swig and just
Like, oh,
drinks it. But then he's like,
gonna
"Oh,
raise
my
up the
bad,"
vodka.
and he like quickly darts back into the room and brings out a couple platters and gives you all of the meals that you ordered. Kind of slams the 2 on the bar in front of the 2 of you, and then reaches, kind of like holds the plate out over towards you, Kyler. It's like a couple feet away. You kind of have to reach to grab it, but he's like, "Sorry, I'm short-staffed. I'm the only one who works here. I'm the only one who works here. It's just me."
I'm gonna like not reach as
Just
far
like-
as I could.
just
but
like-
be
like your
"You
arms
need
like
to
this,
reach
just like-
farther."
He kind of like leans out and just and kind of like tosses it a little bit to you. You have to kind of just catch
Oh.
it.
Oh, thank you. And the shitty service.
I'm sorry, mate. I mean, I need to hire some. I've never owned a tavern before. I'll be quite honest with you. It's a new thing, We're working on it. You know, porcelain parroting though. Welcome to Kontanagi. That's right. Okay. So what brings you all to the place? What brings you to the big city? It's quite a nice city. I don't know if you saw all the colors, but the festival's about to start, and it's getting kind of exciting around here.
Oh well, I just got in, unfortunately. And
Well, you came from
I'm a bit
across
of
the
a-
goddamn continent, so I don't put it past
No.
you. It's a long travel.
Just got in. If you didn't know, I'm a bit of an adventurer, and I got a bit of a missive saying that I should come here tonight. Actually, timed it just right.
Is that
Spend a
right?
springs away from here. Yeah.
Well, that's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Told you to meet here at the porcelain parroting.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's that. You know, given our recent run-ins with the law and properly
best.
bad ownership, I'm hoping that you're not going to be killed this night. I don't think you will. I shouldn't have said that. Really shouldn't have said that. That was a really bad thing to say to a
Well,
customer. I don't think that'll happen.
Oh,
What was
you're
that last
fine.
bit? Oh,
I don't think that'll
who's
happen.
going to get killed?
I think he said
wasn't
that he hopes we
listening.
weren't killed.
No,
Oh.
no, it's. I don't think it'll happen.
That's nice of him.
I just
Thank
know.
you.
I just know that when there was all that shit going down, and they had to like repo all of our booze, and the old owner. I think the old owner was kind of deep with some shit. Like he was deep in some crime shit. I don't really get it. I don't know it.
Sound like it.
He had a lot of late nights back there, and there's like a cellar below the bar, and he would like go down there, and I would hear talking, but I'd never like go close, and it was weird. But so hopefully,
Maybe-
whoever sent you here isn't like trying to kill you. No, I really
Maybe-
should stop saying that. That's not a
That
good
is
thing to
fine.
say to customers.
Ye-
I'm sorry,
Honestly,
just a little nervous.
honestly, it's okay. I mean, I'm an adventurer, so I'm not too.
Yeah, you got your nice bow. I see the bow over your shoulder. You'll be fine. Yeah, you
Well,
can handle
okay.
yourself.
Maybe,
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
maybe your last employer just really like to talk to friends that other people can't see. I mean, I'm not saying I do it, but a lot of people do it.
Do they? What do you mean? You mean like imaginary friends? Because I had those when I was a kid. I thought that was pretty normal. But the the fucking dwarf kids, they were assholes about it. They made fun of me. Fuck those dwarves. I'm sorry. I should be nicer. There could be a dwarf customer coming in at any moment. Don't want to get caught in the middle of that.
I
Ah.
mean,
Whew.
that did get a little racist. That's fine though.
He kind of like gets a little quiet at that knowledge. He's like, right. Well,
Yeah.
enjoy your meals. I'll be over here cleaning. I just gotta. I'll keep the place tidy while you guys are, doing your thing. So, let me know if you need anything. And he kind of like steps to the other side of the bar, which is like 5 feet away. So really not that far from you guys. But he just like kind of turns his back to you and is just like cleaning stuff on the bar on the other end.
I didn't mean to hurt his feelings, like by accident. I would have wanted to do it on purpose. That was by accident, though. Shit.
Well, I mean, rather sporting of you to want to do it in person and on purpose.
I mean, I feel like you should.
I mean,
Just look
generally
somebody in the
speaking,
face when you tell
that
them
is-
that they suck.
Well, of course, that makes more sense to me.
I'm glad you agree.
I do. Also, in your defense, he was being a smidge racist. So,
I mean, dwarves suck, but not that much. Shit.
uh,
I don't like dwarf as much as the
Oh.
next guy, but
So,
So-
as you guys are sitting there, and he kind of like, I'd say like maybe 30, 45 seconds passes, you kind of start to get a little antsy because you all know why you're here, and you mentioned it, Ire, I believe. But you're kind of waiting for something to happen, right? All of the summons that you guys received were very, very cryptic, like not very clear, very vague, and very just like, come here, you'll be proven worthy, blah blah blah, all about this Idlemind character, and you're not really sure what's going on. But then something a little strange happens. Edmund kind of goes slack a little bit in his posture. He actually drops a dish, and it definitely catches your attention because it shatters to the floor. And he just kind of goes almost catatonic at the edge of the bar. And you see this, like, because he's facing away from you, right? You see this, like, blue kind of glow just go, like kind of open like an eye out of his face. Just the glow. You can't really see anything, but, like, this blue kind of glow begins to emanate from him. And he turns to face you all. And his eyes are, like, completely blue and glowing, like illuminated light, shooting out towards you. And he's, like, slack-jawed. And he moves towards you, towards the edge of the bar, and kind of stops in front of you. And,
well, this looks like it would be fun.
It's like,
he just kind of sits there for a second, and then he reaches down below the bar and kind of rummages for a couple of minutes.
I'm gonna, while he's under the bar, can I just, like, pull my hand crossbow and just, like, sit down the bar, like,
yeah,
load it, like, pull it back, but, like, not do anything with it, just have it loaded, just kind of sitting there.
Just kind of mutter to the other two, he's going for a crossbow because I called him racist. Shit.
And you notice as you put the hand crossbow up and, like, you even string it, and it makes, like, the loud kind of, like, loading noise. No reaction. He just kind of sits, like, kind of slack-jawed, staring down, and you see him pull up really fast, but he pulls up this, like, crazy, weird kind of satchel, almost. About, like, it's, like, this wide, and it actually, like, kind of goes down his body a ways. It's pretty big. But then he opens his mouth, and the similar blue light that's coming out of his eyes glows out of his mouth, and in all of your heads you hear at the same time,
"Reach into the bag and speak your name."
And at that point he holds open the bag to you.
You want to try to do that first?
Naz just kind of gets up and was like, well, I think he's reasonable, so I just kind of go right there and be like, I am Naz Wicked, and what else was I supposed to do?
Reach into the bag is what he said.
Okay, and then I reach into the bag.
Okay, so we're gonna roll for some magic items.
Okay.
Nice.
Hold on, I gotta find I put a link to it in my notes and it didn't work, so I'm annoyed, but I'll get there in a second.
I'm gonna grab another beer.
Alright, go for it.
Why'd I globally believe the voice?
You're like, yeah, why not? It seems like a nice voice.
Chase, what's your character's name? Is it Garen?
Kieran.
Kieran. Wait, with a G or with a K?
With a K.
Oh, okay. Kieran.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's funny, I have a friend named Kieran. I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Haha. Is it on the campaign list?
I think so.
Okay, so, Nazarene, roll your percentage die. So the two d10s, basically. The
Okay.
the 10 and the hundreds die.
Oh, okay. So I got a 4.
A 4, so it's like a 0, 0, and a 4 on the other dice?
Yep.
Okay. Do you use any weapons?
Spear, and
Okay.
then I have a crossbow.
Okay. You reach into the bag after saying your name, and it's weird. It's, like, very cold to the touch, and it's definitely much deeper than what the bag appears to be. You, like, feel around, and you almost feel nothing for a second, and you're like, this bag's empty. And then immediately, you're like, probably like a couple seconds in, your hand grazes something metal and cool to the touch. And you kind of run your hand across it. You're like, okay, that's weird. So you grab it and pull it out. And you actually pull out, like, and it keeps pulling. And this, like, very nicely crafted spear, you pull it out. It's kind of made of, like a really dark, almost black, like jet black metal. All the way through, and the staff of it, like the handle, is kind of inlaid with silver and gold, almost like in kind of ironically dwarvish runes, like very kind of jagged and square, but it's beautifully made, and you pull it out and you kind of just feel this like this weird kind of chill come across you as you carry it. But but it's a +1 spear, so if you want to add that to your inventory really quick while the other two do theirs, that's what you pulled out, was a +1 spear. So that's +1 to attack rolls and damage rolls.
How do I add items?
So if you go into your equipment
Like
on D&D Beyond, and then you go to, there should be an add items button somewhere in there.
Like, is a specific, do I just type in +1?
If you type in weapon +1, and really actually if you want, since you have a spear, you can go in and customize your spear's stats and just add +1 to it if that's easier. You can do that pretty quickly.
Okay. I'll figure that out.
So you two, the other two, watch as Nazarene just almost reaches like all the way to the shoulder into this bag and pulls out this like beautiful spear, and just like holds it in his hand, and it feels light. He's like just kind of shocked, but yeah, that's what you have.
I look and go.
The strange man gives us free things.
He seems pretty good, doesn't it? You want to go next?
I think I will go next.
Okay. All right. So roll your percentage dice, which is your
my
2
percentage
d10s.
dice?
Yep.
D10s? Oh, do I have 2 D10s?
So like, well, I guess you have the one with all the double-digit 10s on it, like, you know those ones. It should come in a regular set of dice.
So we got 100 and
yeah, it looks like that if you can see it. I don't know.
I got one of those.
Yeah.
Hey, Alec.
Yo.
Is that +1 to damage, hit, or what?
Both damage and attack.
Nice.
So do I roll? So I got a 60. Oh, fuck.
Well, you roll it with a d10, so you roll 2 of them together.
Well, so he got 60 something.
So yeah, so just roll a d10 now. So you got 60, and then the d10 will determine the tens digit
Lost my other.
or the singles digit.
Hold on.
What's Chase's character's name again?
Kieran.
I got a 60 and a 7.
So 67. Okay, you reach into the bag, and same thing. It's very, very cold to the touch at first, but you kind of like reach in, and you're like, nothing's kind of, you don't feel anything until your hand kind of, your whole palm rests on something cool and kind of like, almost like it feels like scaled or ripped, like weird to the touch. But it's big. It's like a mass of something, and you start to pull it out, and you kind of get it halfway out the bag, and you pull it out, and it's a full chain shirt, like chainmail shirt.
Oh, like
And so you look at it, and it's got like this interesting insignia on the back that you don't really recognize. It's like a dragon with a spear jutting through its throat, like through its open mouth and out its tail. And the rings of the chain are in like undulating colors, like black metal and white metal. So it's kind of this interesting kind of pattern. But you discovered some adamantine armor.
Holy shit.
So if you go into your D&D Beyond, and you can search for adamantine armor, it's an adamantine chain shirt.
As a fighter, would I have recognized what that was?
You'd recognize it as some really fucking nice chain armor. You wouldn't know it's adamantine probably, but it looks very nice.
chainmail.
It's called adamantine armor, and it's a chain shirt. I don't know if you can choose that. But so search like chain shirt and see what comes up. But basically it's medium armor. So I think as your class you have heavy armor, right?
Me?
Are you wearing heavy armor as your class?
No, I'm just wearing a cloak right now.
Oh, so you don't have armor on right now. Well, that's actually nice because it's it's medium armor, but it's 13 plus your dex mod as your AC.
Oh,
So.
oh, good.
But no effect on your stealth rolls either, which is nice.
That's fucking hell.
Damn. What'd you roll for that?
I get immunity from critical hits.
Really?
Yeah, that's what's.
Oh yeah. While you're hitting it, any critical hit against you becomes a normal hit. Damn, that's sick.
That's fucking ridiculous.
That is awesome.
Who knew?
So yeah,
What did you roll for that?
67.
Nice. Okay.
What did you roll?
4. I rolled a 4.
Roll a 4.
Okay.
So yeah, as a fighter, and since you've kind of seen a little bit in the world, Ire, you do recognize that as very nice chainmail, or a chain shirt, and you find yourself a bit envious actually. So you
Yeah, I've definitely got my mouth slightly like agape, just kind of like.
yeah,
Oh,
and I believe you're like proficient in medium armor too as your class, Chase. So you should be able to wear it, or like I think you're proficient in all armor. So, and I actually just thought about that. That might be a thing where if you might pick an item that you can't actually use, but we'll rectify that.
Yeah.
We'll just say you can use it. And again, as you if you do decide to put it on, Chase,
Yeah.
it's like very cold to the touch, and it kind of gives you a bit of a chill as you kind of wear it or hold it.
I equipped it. Shivers going down my spine.
Yeah, exactly. And then you can put your cloak on over it, and it actually looks very, very nice. However, Ire, make a perception check with advantage.
Uh, 14.
14. As Kieran kind of puts this chain shirt over her head, you do see a bit of a odd shimmer to her whole appearance. Strikes you as magical, but you're not sure.
Kind of look at it and go, At this point, I'm elated, right?
Yeah.
I'm so excited right now.
Okay.
I'm kind of like, because I'm a younger elf, Eldrin, and I'm like, all right, well, this is exciting there.
And
isn't it?
Edmund is just still slack-jawed, mouth and eyes both glowing blue this whole time. Very, very creepy. It's almost very zombie-like, his stature.
I'm gonna reach out and tap him on the side of the cheek and be like, "Thank you,
Nothing.
Edmund."
Yep,
and then just reach it and just fucking
Reach in?
no questions, no nothing like that. I saw
right.
the shimmer. I don't care. I still want it.
All right, again, it's cold. It's really cold, like abnormally cold in there. So roll your percentage dice.
Gentlemen, this is very cold. You should have warned me. 35.
35. Okay, you reach around. Well, you guys got some like pretty damn perfect items for each of you. You reach in there, and you feel something smooth to the touch, almost silk. It's like a fabric of some kind. You pull it out, and it's actually this like beautiful, beautiful cloak that is elven in nature. It's got elven designs all up and down, elven embroidery, and it's got this beautiful hood. It's like an interesting kind of dark umber color that fades from like a deep sepia at the bottom into the umber into the red up at the hood. So it's like a red hood, and it fades down to this kind of rusty umber with like this beautiful kind of circular elven inlays up and down the back. It's gorgeous. So you can add a cloak of elven kind to your inventory.
Yes.
Which
I have a question.
when the hood is up, perception checks you have made to see you have disadvantage, so to see you against you, and you had advantage on stealth checks as the cloak's color shifts to camouflage you. But pulling the hood, sorry.
Two DMs.
Yo.
So if you have like a robe that doesn't, can you wear that over armor?
Yeah. Depending on the armor, if it's like scale mail, like a full suit of armor, it kind of limits what you can wear over it. But anything chainmail, chainmail is something that kind of rests under the clothing. You can wear things like it's like basically a heavier shirt usually that you wear first, and then you can put like a tunic or something or a robe or whatever you'd want over it.
Okay, that's dope. I did not know that.
Yep.
This turned out rather nicely. And I slip it on. Kind of matches very well with my greenish leather armor.
Okay. So yeah, and as you put the robe on, Ire, it actually shifts from that reddish color I mentioned to match your kind of existing color palette.
The brownish dark around me.
Yep. Exactly.
Oh.
It's very interesting. And it's very becoming of you as an elf, so.
I'm just sitting there very smug with this on me. Just like that.
So Edmund sits there, and the bag is still open, and all of a sudden his mouth just clamps shut, and he closes the bag and just like bends over, stuffs it under the bar, and just stands back upright, and then the mouth opens up again, and in your heads again you hear a familiar voice that says,
These will aid you in the tests to come. Find my mind down below in the cellars.
and you all hear that in your mind at once.
You do that voice really well.
Thanks.
Yeah, for the record, it's real.
Holy shit.
Honestly, it reminds me of the lion cave from Aladdin.
Oh, really? What does he say in that? I could do it really quick.
God.
Anyways,
I don't remember what it is.
It
anyways,
sounds like you have one of those voice mufflers.
I do. It's a voice mod.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I couldn't get that deep on my own. That'd be crazy. But
I'm less impressed now, but
no, I still do the voice. It's more like, yeah, you'll get it. Anyways, so as this
Okay,
happens, oh, sorry.
Do the voice,
Okay.
but just say a diamond in the rough.
Oh yeah.
A diamond in the rough.
Beautiful. Oh,
Riff raff,
Okay.
street rat. Okay, anyways. So as this happens, this voice rings into all your heads, and at this point, like, you kind of side eye each other, and you kind of realize that you can all hear this. But at this moment, the glow immediately fades, and the kind of color that had, now that the blue glow is gone, you realize the color has almost completely left Edmund's face. He's like pale and white, and the color immediately comes back to his cheeks, and he goes, "Oh, are you guys still hungry? Do you want some more to drink?" Like, no worse for wear, has no idea what just happened.
can I get some beer? Would that be okay?
Yeah, well, if you finish with the vodka, that's fine. Yeah, sure. I'll get you what they had. And he just kind of turns.
I'm not. I just also want
Edmund.
beer.
Edmund,
Oh.
do you feel alright?
I mean, I'm a little nervous. I feel bad about the little racist comment. I didn't mean that. I'm not really racist. I've had a lot of bad experience with dwarves, and it just sometimes it comes out, and I feel a little nervous. But other than that, I kind of had a bit of a rough morning. I didn't get a lot of sleep, but still working. So feeling good.
Oh, yeah.
Are you guys good on your drinks? And he looks at you and Kieran.
I'm good.
All right, and he kind of goes over and gets a tankard, fills up the beer that they got, and hands it over to you, Nazarene. Again, reaching very far to try and like.
This time I just grab it and bridge the gap.
Don't help him. He's trying.
Okay.
He's trying his best.
Okay.
Hey, Edmund, there's a bag underneath there. Can you bring that to me?
He's like, pardon? Kind of turns around and looks at you. What was that?
A satchel bag.
A satchel bag, behind here, behind the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He like leans down. He says, I mean, I don't have any. I don't see anything back here. Did you drop something of yours? Did you have a satchel or something?
I'm gonna jump over the bar and take a look also.
Okay,
Also,
make
can we
make an
go in your
acrobatics check for
basement?
the fun of it.
Come on. Oh wait, no. I should be fine. Let's see. Oh yeah, I got a fucking +7, so we're fine. That's gonna be a 15.
Okay, cool. I was gonna say, just roll over a 10. Yeah, you kind of like side hop the bar a little bit, and you kind of step down, and kind of where he's looking, it's an open bar behind. He's like, excuse me, you're not allowed back here, but you kind of just ignore him. Again, it's just like an open shelf with some cups, some mugs, some glasses, and no bag. And definitely not the bag that you just saw.
Oh,
I look and I'm just like, it's not.
that is.
I mean, did you drop something? I mean, I can go looking if you. I mean, if you've been here before, maybe you got lost and found. I can go check if it's a bag you're looking for.
I'm just gonna like lean over the counter and be like, "Listen, Edmund, I'm sorry about the racist comments, but listen, I have this thing about the basements, and I really need to check out your basements. It's not. It's just a personal thing.
That's
these guys have to come with me. I feel scared when I'm alone, so they have to be there.
I'm gonna lean over to Edmund and just whisper like, "Really, I'm just going to keep an eye on him."
I mean, you really you shouldn't go down in the. Well, you know what? Actually, if you could do me a favor,
spooky.
I mean, there's lights. If you'd leave them off, it's dark, and I suppose if it's dark, it might be spooky, but that's up to you.
Let's leave them off. I like that.
But actually, now that you mention it, we did just run out of ale. The one that you guys ordered, 3 of them or 4 of them. So could you grab me a cask of it down? It's right down at the bottom of the stairs. 10 left, and then all the barrels are back there. There's only like 3 of them left. But if you could grab one, I'll give you gold.
Do you believe that we can do that?
You'll give us gold for bringing up a barrel of beer.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Edmund,
I don't have any staff, so I kind of have a lot of money. It's nice. I made 20 gold last week. It's awesome.
You really shouldn't have your customers do your job. I feel like it's kind of unprofessional.
You don't have to do it, mate.
I mean,
if you want.
It,
You're the one who likes basements so much.
You know, I will
I'll
come
do
help
it
you
for the basement.
bring up your beer for you.
Yes.
I really
Right.
appreciate it. Yeah, go on. It's over that way. And he kind of points down the hallway, and you can, sure enough, it's like a 30-foot hallway with, again, a bunch of tchotchke stuff on the walls, and just a wooden door that's ajar at the moment.
I'm gonna, again, tap Edmund on the cheek and be like...
He's like, kind of reacts this time. He's like, yes?
I'm gonna just point and be like, I'll be seeing you, and I'll leave.
All right. I hope you're gonna come right back with the beer. But okay, I'll be right here. And he just kind of waves you off, and you guys all make your way towards the cellar door, I assume.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
All right. So you got a new cloak. You got some new armor. You got a new spear. You guys are feeling good. You make your way
Great.
to the door. Door is, like I said, ajar. Just kind of swings open with a low creak. There's a bit of dust in this back hallway. You can tell that he doesn't really... Well, he's only been on his own for like a week, but he hasn't taken care of the place. Probably doesn't know how to yet. But anyways, it's a stairwell that goes like... It's like the landing right in front of you, and the stairs are on your left going straight down. And then there's a corner about 15 feet down that then turns again and goes down further to the cellar below. You make your way down, the floorboards creak beneath your heavy footfalls, and you make your way down to a rather plain-looking cellar. It's got cobwebs in the corners, stone slate floor. Like Edmund said, only like 3 casks underneath the stairwell itself when you get down there. But as soon as you kind of go down to the basement, and it is dark down here. Which of you have dark vision? I believe you do.
I'm a tiefling.
You do.
So I do.
I
You
do.
should. I don't know if you do, Chase.
Elves do. I have it, so I assume he has it.
Yeah, I don't know if you do, Chase.
What kind of elf are you, Chase?
A special elf.
A special
Daylight elf.
a daylight elf, a daywalker.
Daywalker.
Belnar, Shadowkai, Sea Elf, Shadow Elf.
He looks just like a regular wood elf to you.
Yeah.
Wood elf
I think
woman.
all of us have dark vision.
Okay.
Just keep going.
But yeah, it's very dark. So you guys are fine, but you do see Kieran kind of using the walls a bit to kind of move down into the darkness.
I would like to.
Do you guys light
Do
something
you
or?
need to turn on a light?
Yes, I would like to take out a torch.
Rogar lives in every character. So you pull out a torch and light it.
No. So here's the question: how many torches does he have?
That's a good point. How many
That's the
how many
trick.
torches do you have?
I only have 2 torches.
Oh shit. Okay. Well, there's still time. There's still time.
There is still time.
So you pull out a torch and you pull out like fire like flint and starter, and you go to light the torch, and the torch lights up, but not red fire. It's blue. And all of
I'm
you,
immediately gonna pull out a torch and go and light mine.
same thing. As you all sit there for a second and look at the blue fire, and
Well, that's rather interesting.
then you do the same thing, hold your torch out, and again, blue fire. And you all notice
Good.
now that the light is up, there are no features around you. You appear to be standing in a black void of a room. There's no stairs, there are no casks of ale, there is no floor. It's just black.
Very
fire-
dramatically, I'm going to swing my torch around.
You do,
Into
and
something.
the blue sparks fly off in a spiral pattern around you into nothingness. The light kind of
Bring it
leaves.
down to my feet.
You bring it down to your
Try and see
feet,
what I'm
and
standing on.
where there should be a bit of light hitting a floor beneath your feet, it continues as if it were just giving off light into a void below you. But you're
Well,
standing
that
on
is
solid
just-
ground.
Fantastic. Good lord.
Hello? Is anybody there? This is a really weird basement.
Yeah, and
Yes.
you're all very kind of still not sure what's going on. But in your voice again, or in your heads, you hear a familiar voice now to you that says,
I said, meet me below.
and as soon as that happens, you begin to fall. The footing you so assuredly had before immediately leaves from beneath of you, and you begin to fall. Slowly, you begin to pick up speed. Wind is rushing past you as if you're falling into this black void. Your wits kind of get the best of you. You close your eyes and try to like wait for an impact. You're not sure what's going on. For the hell of it, everybody make a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving.
Bad.
15.
I got a 21.
Shit.
Oof. I got a save through, so I got a 16.
16. Okay, so you all make the save. You keep your composure and don't scream like little girls. You just continue to fall in this wide open void, and you're not sure what's going on. And you're noticing now, like after about 20 seconds of falling, you begin to kind of like realize you're not probably going to hit anything, and you start to kind of like
Right.
try and figure out what's going on. You look around
Can I
and
try to swim over to one of them?
there's
just
not a
gonna-
whole lot of resistance, so I would say
So no, I'm just going to make that motion and not get it.
yeah. And one thing you noticed, your torches have not gone out. Neither of your torches have gone out. They are flowing down with you. The fire is kind of shooting up, but the torches have not extinguished, even though there's this apparent wind and resistance around you. And you're falling and falling, and it's you're getting faster and faster. And slowly the temperature begins to drop until it's cold, almost like how it felt when you reached into the bag, or when you put on your armor, or put on your cloak, or held your spear. It just gets colder and colder until it's frigid, like you begin to see your breath actually escaping as you're falling, and you're just falling for like probably a minute straight. And then it
Well,
goes dark.
Are
Everything
we
goes
still
dark.
falling?
Your conscience leaves you,
Oh,
and you're not sure what's really going on. And you find yourself awake. You feel yourself lying on what feels like cold slate, and you kind of try to open your eyes, but the blackness is still there. You're still in pitch dark. But you do feel what feels like cold stone beneath you, and you can hear your own breath, and you hear the other people around you breathing as well. It's the three of you. You've all fallen and landed somewhere, but the darkness hasn't left. It's just pitch black, but you can hear and feel.
we still have our torches.
You don't have them in your hand that you know of.
Are they around?
You're not sure. You can't see anything.
Oh.
Hello.
As soon as you say hello, your vision instantly white. Bright lights fill your senses. You have to squint and shield your eyes from this insane, like basically a night and day difference of color. And you shield your eyes and sit up, and you look around, and each of you are all sitting on this white, chiseled, almost marbled floor, this slate floor. And you kind of get your bearings and look around, and you do find your torches next to you on the ground with the flames extinguished. And you kind of look around for a second until immediately. What is actually really quick for my knowledge? What are all your passive perceptions?
14.
12.
13.
Okay, so first thing you do notice,
12, 13.
Kieran, is that your disguise has faded. So could you describe what the other two see now?
You're looking at me. I'm a 6-foot bald man with really pale white skin and have like a curly handlebar mustache. Comes up here and like, kind of shooken.
I'm gonna
My disguise.
Oh God!
kind of look and be like, and who might you be? And I'm gonna grab my sword and like slowly back away.
I'm we drank together. I'm Kieran Halifax, the elvish lady. Just a mere bit of magic. I wasn't really
Excuse me
trusting of you.
Oh, excuse me. So,
you're
I rather prefer
dude?
the other form.
Well, I mean, you get what you get sometimes, kid.
I like your mustache.
Oh, thank you.
That's
So-
I
nice.
do not like your mustache.
So
Well, you suck.
the second thing you notice, Kieran, while this little conversation's happening, is the impossibly heavy breathing that you hear behind all of you. And you all turn and look as Kieran turns to look, and before you can't readily believe what you see. A massive sphinx, which you can see now on Roll20, seated regally and towering over all of you, and an even larger chamber sits before you. His lips don't move, but his eyes flare with a blue glow that chills you to your spine, very similar to the ones that took over Edmund in the bar earlier. As he stares each of you down, a very familiar mighty voice rings into your heads.
You have been summoned. Your path is clear, but questions still plague your minds.
And again, the voice kind of chills you to your spine, but he shifts slightly in his posture, seated very much like the picture shows there, and his wings ruffle to the sides, and he almost looks to relax a little bit as he kind of like shifts his gaze to each of you. And if the voice didn't chill you to your bone, those like lifeless blue glowing eyes on you makes you feel like an ant about to be squished. It's not a very good feeling.
Well, this is rather disconcerting.
So
God,
in your voice
it's a
again,
giant cat.
in your voice you hear, in your mind you hear,
I am Aravin. I call upon you, heroic few, to seek the answers of my past and to reveal the folly of my future. You must travel far beyond the realm of possibility and extend your mind into the catacombs of oblivion. I task you with this. Retrieve the fragments of my memory in the realms you walk, and return them to me before they corrupt your futures. Take care to leave no stone unturned, for the treasures of my mind may aid you in my folly's undoing. Do not lose your way, intrepid ones, for the mind is a terrible thing to waste.
and in a blinding flash you shield your eyes for a moment, and his eyes kind of just like, and the whole room goes like this light blue for a second, only to return your eyes to the room to find it empty. The Sphinx nowhere to be seen. and an ominous blue portal resting where he stood.
I think we might be in a life or death situation here.
Do you believe you may be correct?
I don't like that he presumed that we were heroes. I feel like, why can't we be villains? Is that not too much to ask?
I'm gonna like turn around and just look you straight in the eyes and be like, and would you call yourself a villain?
I am totally a villain. I am the best villain that there is. I'm just saying. Not to brag, but I am the best.
You maybe.
All right. Well, I guess it's a pleasure to meet you.
Yes.
Maybe
Pleasure
we
to
do
meet
this
you too.
quest, and then at the end you do villainous deed.
That is a good idea.
That
Okay.
is a
I
possibility.
like this. Okay, cool.
Are you also content with the possibility of finishing this quest and doing a heroic deed?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm gonna just pat you on the shoulder and be like, "We'll see how it goes."
Okay.
Maybe we just
Yes,
stay
we
alive.
shall.
He's a big Sphinx guy is very scary.
Well, we got this
Yes,
blue portal.
that was-
Yep. So ahead of you, you see the blue portal where the Sphinx stood, and you can kind of see like hints at it behind where the Sphinx is in the artwork. But this hall is massive. It's like 50 to 60 foot high ceilings, and the floor, like I said, is this marbled kind of white slate. And the walls themselves are this like very fine white kind of ornate design up these pillars. There's countless pillars, and in fact you look to the left and right of you, because where you were looking at this Sphinx was against the wall, and behind you there's another wall. So the area you're in is about like maybe 80 feet wide, but in either direction the hall is endless apparently. Like your vision recedes into white on one end and into white on another, these bright white lights. So this hallway just kind of continues. But again, you hear this like kind of crackling of energy as you look back at the portal. And it's like a low hum, almost similar to his voice, the raspiness of his voice in a way, emanates from the portal as you get closer. And it just kind of it sits there floating like a couple feet above the ground.
I'm gonna start running down one of those hallways
Okay.
because I really want to. Like, I'll be back in a second, gentlemen. And I'm just gonna fucking run. I just want to see if there's anything down there.
Okay, you run, and the slate kind of remains the same. You run, and as you start to pick up speed, the pillars kind of start to fly past you in like these very kind of similar arcs, but the pillars all match, and the wall decorations all match. And where that, like in the artwork where the Sphinx is sitting, that little pedestal, you see one of those every now and again on the same outer wall, but you run for a minute, maybe, and nothing changes. Nothing comes into view. You look back, you can see your friends off in the distance, barely.
I wave.
I'll jog back to him. And when I get back, I'm just gonna be like, it's a very long hallway. Should we check that out before we go through the creepy portal?
I think we just go through the portal.
Yeah, this now mountain of a man named Kieran that you thought was this timid elf woman is talking to you through his curly mustache.
I'm gonna walk straight through the portal, but as I'm getting about to step through it, I'm just gonna say, "I liked you better as a woman," and then step through.
Okay.
Didn't like.
I'm gonna turn to him quickly and be like, "I like you better with the mustache," and then walk through.
Okay.
Thank you. Follow along.
All right, you all walk through the portal, and almost the same exact sensation as falling in that endless void was. It's cold, it's black, you can't even see each other. It's impossibly frigid. You feel your fingers begin to numb, but nothing, like, you don't feel like you're falling. You barely even feel like you're moving. And then probably not even a moment passes before you wake up, and this bright flash of light kind of overcomes you, and it's like daylight. Here, and I'll move you guys to a new scene on Roll20 so you can kind of get that going. And the first thing that hits you, or here, I got a little writing. So the cold subsides as you feel yourself on solid ground. Bright sunlight obscures your vision, but as your eyes adjust, you begin to take in your surroundings. Immediately, the smell and sound of fresh running water hits your nose and ears, and you see a trickle of a stream at your feet. You follow it with your eyes, and you see that it flows downward toward you from a sloped, rocky passage up ahead. High mountain walls tower over either side of you, and behind you a large boulder rests against another wall. The rushing water is calming, but you can't help but wonder what lies ahead of you. The voice in your head doesn't make you any more comfortable, and again, you hear a very familiar voice.
Find the source, the watered veil. Pierce its heart to learn this tale. A tale of kings who took the best, and never let them find their rest. Venture deep, find the kings, and prove that death will find all things.
And as the voice kind of fades away, again, similar chill up your spine, but you take, again, like I said, you look around and there's these high kind of canyon walls on either side of you. And if you are you guys looking at the Roll20, you can see you're in this little alcove.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bit of shrubbery and like kind of muddy, packed earth that you're standing on, a few loose rocks, but and also this kind of trickling stream that's rolling towards you. And that those words kind of ring into your head, and I'll actually post them. I can post them either in the Roll20 chat or just on Discord if you guys want to be able to see them.
Probably Roll20 tab. I've got it up.
Actually, I actually can't without having the Roll20 go away, so I'll put it in the Discord. Sorry.
Okay, no worries.
I'll be right back in a second, too.
Oh yeah, if you guys want, we could take a break really quick. If you guys want to do that.
Yeah, actually.
Okay, so that's where you are. We'll pick this up right when we take that back from a break. And give me 1 second. Go back to the OBS. OBS. There we are. We'll be right back. 1 sec.
We're on a river trail.
And we're back to Good Times
Along the
Roll.
river path.
When we left off last time on Good Times Roll, Goku and Vegeta. No, I'm just kidding. So you are all in this almost ravine type area. Like I said, high canyon walls, and it's strange when you look up to. It's a blue sky, but the sunlight kind of doesn't really make it all the way into the ravine, so it's very kind of like most of it's cast in shadow. But the air is fresh. It smells like fresh water, the trickling, and you almost hear like a bit of water off in the distance, like falling water in a way. And up ahead, you kind of see this, like, it's an upward sloping hill, and the pass is, like you can see on the map, 10 to 15 feet wide, maybe at the most. The squares are 5 feet, and 5 feet at the least, so it's can get a little thin, a little tight, but you're in it up here.
Is that
Okay.
Does that sound like a waterfall to you?
Oh yes, some form of flowing water.
The water has,
Here's something about a watered vale.
I believe so. We have to find the source of the water. Is that what it said?
Yes, I think that's what we need to do, is find the source of the water. I'm
Maybe
sorry,
we
there
just
was...
go upstream then.
Yes, I mean, we'd have to go upstream. Don't
I
really see
mean-
where else we could go.
I guess we should get walking.
Guess
Uh,
we'll go down.
Actually, really
Gentlemen,
fast, I'm going to give you guys control of your characters since you weren't in the game before. So-
Gentlemen, I do believe that we are on a good old-fashioned adventure. It's just like stuff that I saw back in the Feywild. Although I've never exactly had an adventure with a villain back in the Feywild, that's unfortunately.
Oh my
Usually-
god. Let me tell you, villains are way more fun in the Feywild. So much better.
That's good to know. I mean,
It's-
I've fought a number, of course, as you know. I've also played three-dimensional chess with a troll, but that was a whole different story.
How does that work?
What is?
It's very confusing. It involves a lot of ladders. They're quite tall.
What are you saying, Kieran?
We need to get a ladder now.
No,
A ladder?
I don't.
Never mind. And I'm just gonna walk off.
Okay, so yeah, you guys should have control of your characters now.
I do, and I do like the names underneath.
Yeah, is that helpful? I feel like that would be helpful for our other game
Okay,
too.
hold on a second, because I can't see your guys' names. I can only see my name.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I
I
can see all your names.
mine. I got
Okay.
the same.
Maybe
It's
that's
nice, 'cause
maybe
then
it's
I
designed
know
that
my
way
character really
so like you can find your character. Yeah, maybe that's what it's for. That's kind of nice. Well, Ire is the one with the bow. Kieran's the one in
Yeah.
purple. Yeah, and Nazarine's the one in the black. So as you kind of come up, about like probably 10 feet back from where you guys ended up, it opened up a bit to you, and you actually see what appears to be a figure up ahead. Humanoid shape. He appears to be kind of just standing and muttering to himself in a way. And as you approach, let me get him off the GM layer so you guys can see him.
Yeah.
I'll look over to.
Are these bushes that are on the map actually there?
Yeah, they're a part of the map.
Is there any chance that I could like sneak along the wall and like kind of blend into bushes if I move slow enough?
You could. I would say the only issue is the bushes are probably knee high at the most, so you'd have to get pretty low to hide into them.
Never mind then. I thought
yeah.
they were totally like climbing up the wall.
No. There are vines climbing up the wall, like very barely, and there's moss covering all of the walls. But yeah, so he'd actually be facing away from you. But hold the phone. So he's kind of just up here in this open space. You see, it's like a kind of like how the icon there looks, just like a dark, like reddish robe. He appears to have some sort of staff, and he's kind of like has it in the crook of his arms, and he has like something in his hands that he's kind of like looking at, and just inspecting very closely.
I'm gonna raise my hand and go, "Oh, sir."
He kind of like fumbles it for a second and like clutches it to his chest and just tucks it away into a pouch and grabs his staff and holds it out straight. And then, like, dramatically looks over at you and says,
"Well, what do we have here? Some more parasites here to try and leech off of my grand power?"
And he turns to face you now.
That's what we are exactly, actually.
"Begone, filth!"
And he holds his staff up and like waves it at each of you. He says,
"What makes you think you are welcome in this place? You don't belong here. You are in the presence of greatness."
And he just kind of sits there
I mean,
and like
we did
basks
just
his...
get teleported here, so I assumed we belonged here.
I
just
don't
pass on through. It'll be okay.
I don't give a rat's ass how you got here. It doesn't matter. You are not allowed to pass, little weakling. You scum need to turn around and go back down the river from wherever you came from. Understand?
Villain, we are passing through, and if you do not let us, we will force our way.
At that
I'm going
threat,
to pull my bow off my back at this point and
he
draw.
slams his staff down into the dirt, and as it hits, a dust cloud kind of comes up like it normally would, but also this radiating green energy kind of shoots out from the staff, and he says,
"Enough! Enough with your idle threats. You pose no threat to me."
Can I take a shot at him as he's talking?
"You certainly can."
Yes.
Roll an attack. Because he's actually like totally grandstanding and just like staring off, and he's not even like acknowledging you with eye contact at this point.
Oh, it's so beautiful. I understand why you guys do this now. Oh, that is a fucking 13.
13. That does not hit because as it hits, but as you watch, as he slammed his staff down, the green energy that radiated out actually traveled up his robes, and you start to see like this shimmer of light on the outside of his robes, almost in like this fragmented, like geometric, almost like rock shape that just kind of like covers his body. But it's like translucent, but it shimmers in the light. It's like crystalline in a way. It's very strange. But the arrow actually like hits and splinters across this armor. And he says,
You tried to sneak on me? Well, You've just opened up the biggest can of worms you've ever seen.
And I need everybody to roll initiative.
Yes.
You said his armor is like rock.
You're not quite sure, but it's weird. It's not like rock because visibly it's translucent. But the sunlight actually refracts off of it, and is in these very like geometric, crystalline type shapes, and they kind of just like cover his whole body in this like shimmering kind of armor.
Okay.
Very interesting. I don't think you've seen anything like it. But everyone needs to roll initiative,
All right.
including me.
I got an 8.
Ooh, I like this music.
Now let me know if it's too loud or anything like that.
Oh, it's fine.
Okay, so 25 to 20. Anybody? 20 to 15?
Me? Got 18.
All right, so you got an 18K for Kieran. Okay, 15 to 10?
14.
You got a 14? Okay, so A for Ire. And then we have 10 to 5. You said you had an 8?
8, yes.
8, okay. So we got E. E.
Oh.
Okay, and then your name is Nazarene. So, all right, top of the round. Kieran, you are up first. You see before you this like, he's not very tall. He's like got he doesn't have any facial hair like the image shows, but he has like weird like facial tattoos running down his face into like these like it's like these 4 red jagged spikes that end here. And he like as he kind of goes up and laughs as again you see that translucent armor about him. He's got red robes on and a large like gnarled wooden staff with kind of like a crystal jammed into the end of it. And then his hood flies off. He has like this weird like mohawk kind of thing going on, and he just looks like a punk ass, and he kind of sounds like one too. But that's what you see. So what would you like to do?
I'm gonna not really not really trust in these two fighting abilities yet, so I haven't really seen them, so I'm kind of weary of this punk ass guy. Just gonna kind of sit in the back. I'm gonna cast Bless on all 3 of us.
Okay. All right. So now you all get a additional D4 added to any saving throws or attack rolls you make until the spell fades.
Nice.
Could you double check for me, Chase?
Seriously, attack rolls too?
Yep. Is Bless a concentration spell?
Yep. So
Okay,
I gotta just keep doing it till.
Well, if you get hit, you'll have to make a concentration check. That's all. Okay. Cool. That's your
All right.
action. Would you like to move or do a bonus action?
I'm probably gonna just back it up a little bit here.
Okay. All right. So you are all blessed, and that'll be the end of your turn. Next in the rotation, we have Ire. Ire, what would you like to do?
Can I talk to these guys? Like a short phrase to them?
I would say sure. Just do it, and I'll let you know what it turns out to be. Yes, you can.
I'm literally gonna turn to. What's your name, Kyler?
Nazarene.
Nazarene.
Be like,
Naz.
Naz, do you know how to use that spear?
You said Naz, does that mean we're friends? Also, yes, I know how to use the spear.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna just take another 2 shots. I'm gonna use one of my arcane shots to
Okay.
do grasping arrow.
Okay. Now, question: do you have to announce that before you attack, or can you do it on a hit? Like, if you hit, can you do it? I guess you have to imbue the arrow, don't you?
When you fire it, you apply it.
Okay. All right. That's cool. All right. So then you did that right. I was making sure.
Or sorry, you decide to use the option when an arrow hits the creature. So no,
Oh.
you're right.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So I was gonna say just in case it misses, I don't want you to lose the thing. So.
Okay.
So
cool.
make your first attack.
Alright. So, and I think it's going to be a plus. Yeah. So that's going to be a 26.
26 hits, and you want to use your.
And I want to use grasping Grasping Arrow.
Okay.
So they take an extra 2d6 poison damage.
Damn. Okay. Okay.
All right.
So roll
I've
the
gotta
arrow
roll
damage and
for
then the
arrow
extra
damage.
2d6.
1d8. Oh, okay. So 6 piercing damage for the arrow,
Okay.
and an additional 2d6 for poison. So 3 points of poison damage.
Okay.
Roll
Total.
1 and 2.
Damn. Okay. That's still that's still
it-
something.
It reduces its speed by 10 feet,
Oh shit. Okay.
and then it does an additional 2d6 slashing damage on the first time it moves every turn.
I see. Okay. So it's like, and is it like
But
what's it called? Entangled something?
Grasping Arrow.
Grasping. So it's like vines come out or something.
Yeah, but it can use an action to remove the brambles that sprung up around it.
I see.
With
Okay.
a DCA 13 athletics check.
Okay.
So,
All right. So yeah, you watch as the arrow hits these thorny roots sprout up from the earth, and he's like, "What color would you like them to be?"
I'm gonna say they're like pretty bright yellow.
Okay. So
Like
these
not
bright
green, like
Yeah.
yellowish as they.
these bright yellow roots just shoot up on the ground and wrap around his ankles, and he kind of like winces and lets out this dramatic scream from these little thorns going into his legs. But that was your first attack, so you roll another one.
Yep. And that is going to be a 25.
That hits. Roll for damage.
So that's going to be a, what's that, D8 plus 4? That's 12 points of piercing damage.
Is that max? Shit, dude.
Yeah, that maxed.
Well, are you rolling the d4 or no?
Huh?
Have you been rolling the
I'm
d4 for
doing-
damage or for attack? Or
No,
actually,
I'm doing the D8 plus 4.
Okay, sorry. All right.
So I rolled a D8 and I got an 8 plus 4.
Nice. Okay, so you notch an arrow and you let it fly, and it lands square in his shoulder, and it actually shatters that like weird shimmer you saw. And you watch as these translucent shards of magic just kind of like disperse into mist, and the arrow lodges deep into his like this meat of the shoulder area, and this like gout of blood just spurts out, and he goes ah! 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 He starts to just like overreact horribly, but he's looking pretty hurt actually.
Oh, I love it.
Okay, so would you like to move or do anything for your bonus action?
Having noticed that he is mostly, he seems to be what I assume is a spellcaster, I'm going to move up behind him.
Okay.
Because I believe that was 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's my movement speed. I can't turn my character around because I'm doing it on a tablet.
Yeah, I'll get you.
And as I'm doing it, I'm gonna put my bow away and pull out my rapiers.
Okay. He's not turning to get you. I'm just turning. So there you go. So you pull that out.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. Thank you for doing that.
Cool. All right. So that ends your go.
Oh.
Next,
And my go.
Nazarene, you hear wings. Silent at first, but you hear like and you hear a and you look above you, and all of a sudden two very tiny lizard-like creatures appear right around you, like kind of like down from the canyon walls. They're like a bright yellow with like these green stripes up and down their back, and they look you've never seen a dragon before, but they look like little mini dragons, the ones you've seen in the books.
Awesome sauce.
And they are going to attack both of them are going to attack you.
Super.
Actually, you know what? No, I'm gonna roll for it. 1 sec. Okay, so one of them's gonna attack you. This one on the left of you, and the other one saw this other asshole go after his buddy over here, so he's gonna make a beeline towards you, Ire.
Ah, shit.
And they are going to, let's see. They are going to use their breath weapon on you. So this dragon kind of looks down and it breathes at you, and you almost like wince as you see it open its mouth, because you've read about, like, you know how dragons work, right? But as you wince from this tiny little dragon dive bombing you, this like weird like mist comes out instead of fire or some other weird other element, and almost like has bubbles in it. It's like kind of cute actually, but this mist and haze kind of surrounds your head, and I'll need you to make a wisdom saving throw, Ire.
Not me, just
Wisdom saving
Well,
throw?
we'll do you next, but you'll have to make one right now, Ire.
Because he's blessed too, he gets
Yep, you do get to add a d4 to your roll.
yeah, he had a D4.
That's good. Shit balls. That's a fucking 9.
9 total.
Put the
Yep.
D4 on it.
Yep.
Oh shit. Okay, perfect.
It's a wisdom plus 0 for saving.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Well, okay. So now you kind of like, and you can't like, no, you don't really know what's going on. And you kind of like become overcome with this like almost melancholy, and like you suddenly kind of lose the urge to fight. And so now for a minute you can't take reactions, and on each of your turns you have to roll a d6 to determine what you do. So on your next turn we'll see what happens. So to Kyler, the similar Nazarene, the similar things happens to you as this dragon leaps off the wall and dive bombs you. This similar bubbly mist kind of covers your face, and I need you to make a wisdom saving throw as well, also with the d4
All right.
added.
Gotcha. Alright, I got a 16.
16. It kind of gets into your mouth, and you're like, "Puh, puh." It's like this weird. It's really kind of cold, but it's kind of gross. But you kind of just like do one of these in front of you and shake it away, and you kind of stave off the effects that seem to have taken a hold of Ire.
Was that incense or something?
Yeah, it kind of smells like it actually a little bit.
Ugh.
So you're like, oh god. So actually that's their turn. So now it will be this caster's turn. This asshole. So he's going
Of course, I don't get reactions, motherfucker.
He's gonna
Balls.
look at the thorns that are around his feet, and like he's gonna like lift a leg slightly, and it's gonna hurt. He's gonna go and not like want to move. And so he instead is gonna grab his staff and kind of hold it close to himself, and you're gonna watch as he a kind of a yellowish green magic kind of protrudes from the staff, and then envelopes his body, and you watch as the wound on his shoulder actually starts to close and the blood begins to dry, and he begins to get a little more of his vitality back. He's going to cast Cure Wounds on himself. Alright. Okay. And then now he's going to actually... you said, like, how does the movement penalty work for your roots, Zach? Your thorns? Your brambles?
It's so his movement is reduced by 10, and every time, like, if he moves at all, he takes 2d6.
I see. So they're like on him, and they just hurt him like every time. Okay, I see.
Yeah.
So 2d6 he takes, you said?
Yeah, it takes 2d6 slashing damage the first time on each turn it moves 1 foot or more.
1 foot
So,
or
like,
more.
moving
Okay.
its foot a little bit to check didn't hurt it,
Okay.
but if it actually moves.
All right. Yeah, he's gonna like just kind of
And then it
wince.
can use an action. It can use an action to try and
Okay,
remove
so
that.
he just used his action, unfortunately, to cast that spell. So he's
Yeah.
going to wince and just go and he's gonna like dart this way 10 feet up the river, and take 2d6 damage. And I'll actually let you roll that since it was your spell if you want.
That's gonna be 8.
Damn. Okay. All right.
Nice.
So he goes
Slashing damage.
and you kind of watch, even in the haze, Nazarene, you see it more as he moves. These brambles kind of dig into his leg, and you see blood kind of start to trickle out through his robes. But he's still up and he's kind of trying to get away. But that's his turn. So Nazarene, you're at the bottom of the initiative. It is your turn. What would you like to do?
Okay. I apologize. I'm not too familiar with spellcasting classes. So I have 2 questions.
Yes.
A ranged spell attack, is that the same as just like a regular ranged attack? Do I have disadvantage on things that are close to
Exactly, yes. It's the same thing. If they're next to you, if they're within 5 feet of you, you have disadvantage, and the attack bonus is your spell attack bonus instead of like the weapon attack. So you would just, whatever your spell attack bonus is, you would add that to your roll. But yeah, right now, if you were to use a ranged attack on that dragon, it would be a disadvantage.
Okay, and then my second question is Eldritch Blast. It says I have 2 beams. Is that 2 beams of 1d10 damage?
No, it's 2 beams. It's actually 2 attacks. So basically, I have you roll two ranged attacks, and they do 1d10 each. So it's 2.
The only spellcaster that gets two attacks and
I know it's
in
pretty
one go.
pretty cool. It's a cantrip, but it's a pretty baller cantrip. So.
Nice.
But yeah, so it's 2 beams and separate damage, so you can do max 20 damage if you hit with both.
Okay, well, I'm gonna turn to this. Is it? I'm not gonna guess. I think I know what kind
It's
of.
like a small kind of dragon. It's like a little.
Is it a fairy dragon?
It's fairy sized. So if you think that's probably what. If you're saying that's what Nazarene thinks, yeah, I'd say you're pretty close.
All right, I'm going to. Oh, it's still like a ranged spell attack, I guess. All right, I'm just gonna attack this one, and then this guy. I'm gonna just do the 2 Eldritch Blasts. Is that 2 separate? You said 2 separate.
Yep, it'd be 2
rolls?
attacks, and I'm gonna give him probably 3/4 cover because he's kind of around the wall from you a little bit.
Okay, so the second attack's with disadvantage. Or?
Actually, I'll give him half cover, so not as good. But no, both attacks are okay because you're not making them on the creature that's next to you. They're just normal attacks. So you can roll for the dragon first.
Okay. And that is a spell attacks. 9, so that is a 16.
16 just hits the dragon, so roll for damage. So it's just a d10.
That is a 3.
3 damage, okay. So you watch as like this kind of greenish energy leaves your palm and just shoots outward, and kind of the dragon's like kind of sporadically flying around, but it catches it square in the chest and goes and just kind of like falls for a second, but then catches itself before it hits the ground and swoops back up in its space. Okay. So you said 3 damage, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right, and then roll for the second beam. Is targeting the wizard or the druid.
Okay. Ooh, so there's a. Can I add the +4 to my attack roll rather than my?
Oh no, yeah, you do because you've been blessed. So yeah.
Would that be rather than my damage roll, or
you don't? It's only your attack. The bless addition.
Okay. Use that. I'm gonna use that for the attack roll then.
Yeah, you can use them to any attack roll. Or
so
saving
that's
throw.
also 6. That's also a 16.
That hits. That barely hits the caster. So yep, roll for damage. Oh no, sorry, it does not hit because I gave him half cover, so he has +2 to his AC. Sorry. So you fire the second beam and it just blasts off the cliff wall. Rocks and dust go flying. One pebble hits Ire in the foot. Nothing happens. Okay, so that's your action. Do you want to do anything for movement or bonus action?
I don't want to give this monster, chance to attack.
It would get an
me.
attack of opportunity if you left its range, but you could move within its range if you wanted.
Apologies. Let me look at my bonus actions real quick.
Hey, brand new characters. No worries.
That'll be it. That's
Okay.
all I'm gonna do.
All right, top of the round. Kieran, you're up.
If I cast another spell, do they lose bless?
If it's a concentration spell, yes. You can only have one concentration spell up at a time.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But if it's not concentration, you can.
Yeah, then you're fine.
Alright, so I'm going to kind of want to move up a little bit.
Okay.
And I'm going to cast Sacred Flame on this flying dragon.
All right, and I believe that's a saving throw he has to make. Right?
Yep. Or wait, yeah. Dex 15 saving throw.
Dex 15.
Yep.
He 15. He rolled 15 exactly. So you shoot the flames upward, and these radiant flames kind of spiral out of your hands, and the dragon kind of like sees them coming and actually dips below them towards the ground, almost lands, and then shoots himself back up as the flames pass and splash against the rock, seemingly to no effect. Unfortunate. They got pretty high dexterity because they're so little and nimble. Actually, they have a dex 20. They have +5. That's kind of
Holy
nice.
shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't think I've ever seen a monster cap out of 20. What the fuck?
I know, these are like tiny little. They got good stats. They're just they're hard to hit because they're so little.
No, that's not true. I've used a quickling before in a fight.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say there's plenty of creatures that have good stats, but anyways, so that's your action. You want to do any more movement or bonus action?
Hold on. I don't know if I got a bonus action. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't think I have a bonus action. Alright, so I'm just done.
Okay. All right. Now we are up to Ayer's turn. Ayer, on your turn, you're still feeling a little melancholy. You're not really sure what you guys are doing here, and in fact, the entire absurdity of the situation is kind of starting to take hold. The whole like portal thing and the giant sphinx, and it doesn't make a lot of sense anymore.
I'm just gonna like dig my toe into the ground for a second and just like.
And now,
And then you said 6.
now you need to roll a d6.
Be good to me, baby. 4.
4. You need to roll. Now you need to roll a d8.
It's not better. God damn it! It's a 7.
It's a 7. Okay. What's your movement speed?
I kind of don't want to tell you, but 30 feet.
30 feet. Both of you, Nazarene and Kieran, you watch as Ayer just kind of like digs her foot into the ground and like kind of kicks it and just looks down and just looks kind of defeated, and she just turns around and starts trotting off through this little thing up here, out of sight.
Wow.
Oh, okay, bye.
And then Ayer, you see, I'll reveal basically what you saw as you ran through, but you kind of end up over in this area.
Oh god, I'm gonna die.
No, it's fine.
I
Everything's
left
fine.
the 2 spellcasters by themselves.
So you kind of end up in this area, and the water. There's like these 2 pools and some brush, and there's not any signs of life over here. But the water kind of calms you, makes you feel a little better. But
I'm just gonna look at it and be like,
That seems nice.
but that is your turn. Unfortunately, you take no actions or
Fuck
bonus
up,
actions,
I
and you
guess.
use all your movement to move in a random direction. That's what you did.
son of a bitch.
Okay. So that's
All right.
Ayer's turn. Now it is the dragon's turns. So the dragons.
Sorry, I also have to point out, I'm still holding my rapiers, so I'm just like, my rapiers are like, I imagine me like dragging them on the ground as I walk like a child. Just like, just the 2 lines beside my footprints.
Yeah, just you just kind of just ran off aimlessly into the brush like,
Oh,
oh,
wow. Yeah, I don't want to be here anymore.
I don't like this place. Okay. So now, Nazarene, the 2 dragons look at you,
Oh, shit.
and they again they rear back to cast a breath weapon. So you're kind of like at least this one far off in the distance, and you kind of wince a bit to expecting like the bubbles and the mist, but instead this rainbow colored spray shoots out of the dragon's mouth into your direction, into a cone. And let's see, you need to
Prismatic spray.
something different. Let's see, what does it do?
Something different? Okay. Good.
You Oh, okay, hold up. Gotta roll some dice.
I'm back. Don't die.
Unlikely.
Yeah, you guys are fine. It's the first fight. Come on. 8. 18. Okay. The rainbow lights enter your eyes, Nazarene, and you kind of go blind. You are considered blinded. You can't see.
Oh.
And in your eyes, it's almost like when you look at the sun and you look away. There's like those little bright kind of fuzzies in your eyes. In your vision, it's all dark, but there's like these rainbow colors that just kind of blind you for a little bit. And it says you're blinded until the end of your next turn. So that's that. And then the one next to you is going to turn and look at Kieran, who just tried to fucking Sacred Flame it, and attempt to do the same thing. So I gotta roll some more dice. All right. Oh. Wait, how many hit points do you have, Nazarene?
38.
Okay, you are not blinded. I did that wrong. You're fine.
Yes.
It like we'll say it blinds you for a second, but you kind of quickly shake it off and you get your vision back, and it's just kind of like fuzzy everywhere. How many hit points do you have, Kieran?
I actually got like 40.
Jesus Christ. Then hold up. Close. I actually rolled 31. Basically, I have to roll your hit points in order for you to be affected. But, so you have more than 31 hit points.
Yeah.
Okay, then it does not affect you either. Same thing. You get blinded for a second, but the rainbow kind of just washes over, and you just open your eyes back up, and you can see again, but it's fuzzy everywhere. Okay, so that's their turn. Now the spellcaster's gonna watch as Zach's character just kind of like wandered off into nothingness, and he's just gonna be like, "Huh, all right," and he's going to kind of like lean around the rock and fire at you, Nazarene. I'm gonna give him the same cover that he had because he's still kind of like in the same spot.
Okay.
But he's going to attempt to.
So wait, is my AC +2 then?
Yep, for right now it would be +2. Yep.
Okay.
But actually,
Cover.
he's going to cast a different spell. Hold the phone.
Hold the phone.
Okay. So he can see his target, which is going to be a spot on the wall. So you're going to watch as he's going to point his staff at like the rock next to you, almost underneath where the dragon's floating and on the ground, and you're gonna watch as this like streak of energy flows across the ground and hits the rock, and then these kind of like almost spectral at first but magical vines sprout out of the ground in a 20-foot square. So actually both you and Kieran are in this little area. I'll actually make a little shape if you guys can see it. Green. So let's see from there. It'd be like that. Can you guys see that square or like part of it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
So in that space, creatures in the area when the spell is cast must succeed on a strength saving throw. So you have to
Jeez.
make a strength saving throw really quick for me.
One luck. Ooh, I got a 10.
I got
10.
an 8.
Did you add your d4?
Oh, my D4.
Oh, no, I do.
You both are blessed, so you do get a +4.
Yeah.
A plus D4.
I got 10 now.
I got 14.
Nice. Okay, so Kieran, you kind of see them coming, and being familiar with magic yourself, you leap up out of the way as the vines go to grasp around your ankles. You are not restrained. Nazarene, though, you react too quickly or too slowly, and the vines wrap up around your ankles and up around your shins, and you are now restrained until the spell ends. On your turn, you can use an action to try and attempt a strength check to get out of the vines, but it basically just means your speed is 0. You can still do
So
an
I just
action.
can't move.
Yeah, you can still do
Okay.
actions and bonus actions, but your speed is 0, so you can't move until you get out.
Neat.
And then he's just gonna like
neat. That sucks.
stay there, and that will be the end of his turn. So now we are up to you, Nazarene. You got this dragon next to you. You are currently restrained, and you have a dragon in front. You can still see the caster around the corner a bit.
Okay. Nazarene's just kind of gonna be like, fuck this, and is going to cast Shatter, use one of my spell slots, and it's being casted at 3rd level.
Okay.
And he's going to hit right in this area.
Okay, you can
So
see
it's
that
those
perfectly
two.
fine. So that's cool. All right. So tell me what Shatter does.
It's so right now it's creates a loud, painful, intense noise. So it's about normally it's 3d8 thunder damage. With my level, it's 4d8 thunder damage for a 10-foot radius. Each creature within that has to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. What's your DC?
On a successful set, the DC is a 15.
Oh shit. Okay.
Pretty good for a
Does
con.
not make the save.
Neither of them do.
Ooh, actually, I'll go for the other one.
It hits that other dragon too.
Oh, all of them?
No, it just hits. Sorry, this dragon
And the
then
guy?
the spellcaster.
Okay, so
yeah.
this guy, the one next to you, save. They both failed their saves.
Nice. So that is 4 d8s of full thunder damage.
Nice.
Oh, I have a hard time finding d8s. Okay. That's not bad. So that is 14. Actually, sorry. I feel like what it is. Yeah, so that's 14 damage.
To each of them?
Do I add my modifier to it?
If does it say so on the spell? Or is it just 4d8?
I apologize.
Apologize.
No, I do not. So no, it's just solid 14.
Okay, please describe both of their demises for me.
Oh god. So Nazar is just like, yes, fuck this, and just cast Shatter on like one area, and I am assuming this dragon just kind of screeches and then explodes.
Yeah, just
from
this like
the
rainbow
impact.
spiral kind of like falls out as this like it was finishing its last breath attack, and it just kind of shatters in a pink mist, and that kind of loses itself into the stream.
And then the spellcaster guy, with whatever rock armor he still had, the rock armor quickly just reacts and squeezes him, killing it quickly in response to the shatter.
Yeah, we'll say like with the combination of the brambles that Zach's character put on his ankles and this like crystalline armor, the shatter literally causes the armor to shatter into these like almost magical aura shards, and they like embed themselves in his body as they kind of crush inward, and his body gets flung up the river like 10 feet.
Beautiful.
Damn.
All right.
And oh wait, I'm not really missing any health, so never mind.
Okay. That was great. Awesome. All right, so those two are gone. And yeah. Do you want to do a bonus
Am I
action
still
or anything on your turn?
Am I still restrained?
You are still restrained. Actually, let me see. The spell might drop if he dies. I think it would. Yeah, we're gonna say it does. since he was the source of the magic. The vines all sort of fade. And you are free.
Okay.
How do I get these things? Select. Delete that. And delete that. Okay. Alright. So yeah, you do have movement if you'd like, but you still have this dragon next to you.
So I'm not gonna move. I'm just gonna like turn to the dragon, and I'm just gonna kind of be like, "You see that? I killed your friends. I'm gonna do that to you next, motherfucker."
Alright. Kieran, top of the round, it's your turn. You just watched this new comrade of yours eviscerate a tiny dragon and blow the caster's body with a very degrading yelp, like up the river. Yep. And all is quiet up that way.
Tiny dragon dead?
The one up here, it was, yes.
Oh shit. Damn, okay. Sorry, I accidentally hit the X button, so it
Sorry.
stopped. No, it was me. I hit the X buttons. So it stopped loading them.
Ah.
So I didn't see you take away the dragon.
Okay. It's your turn, Kieran.
All right, kind of taken aback by the tiefling's prowessness. Like, ooh, he kind of one.
Little turned on.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So after
That's
that,
what we're trying to do.
Kind of refocus up, and I point at the dragon with my spear, and I want to cast Toll the Dead on it.
Ooh, okay. That's it.
Oh.
Does he have to make a saving throw?
I don't. Let's see here. Yeah, Wisdom saving throw of 15.
Okay. Wisdom, eh?
Is he
Ooh.
damaged at all right now?
He is not damaged,
Okay.
but he rolled a 19, so he makes his
19.
save.
Okay.
Yep.
Then it misses.
All right, so you kind of like slap your hands together, and this kind of bell, this magical bell toll sound just goes boom, and like these waves shoot out towards the dragon, but it just kind of like screeches, goes and it does like a big loop, like a shuttle loop, and comes back down and it avoids the energy. Bonus action or movement?
No.
Okay.
They're here.
All right, Ire, you shake your head and kind of smack your temple a little bit, and that melancholy feeling fades, and you're now standing in a completely new place with your rapiers out,
Whoa.
and you're not sure where you are.
What? Do I have any idea where I am?
You do know that you ran this way, but you're like kind of like, it's almost like you were in a daze for a second, and you're just kind of like you're getting your bearings.
Okay. Can I quick scan the environment to make sure there's no threats?
Sure. Make a perception check.
That's a fucking 6.
6. No apparent threats. You don't see anything
Cool.
moving. But just this nice little
Do I
kind
have
of
any
grotto
memory
area.
of something basically exploding?
You did. I'd say you probably heard that. You heard the shatter spell.
Okay, can I just run back towards it then?
Sure. Yeah, you can make it back to right where you were. Which I think was like, let's say 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, like there. Unless you don't want to move. You don't have to use your full movement. You could get like right to the outside and see Nazarene and Kieran and this
So
dragon.
I see the device, see these guys. I'm still kind of confused. I'm gonna hesitantly shoot 2 shots at this thing
Okay.
because
Roll
I'm just
for the
like
attack.
wondering like what the fuck's going on. Like I see what I assume is just like shards of rock all over the place.
You actually,
Shatter,
now
so-
that you're here, I'll actually reveal a little bit more. You do see up the passageway this way.
Okay.
And you do see the body of the caster in a crumpled heap on the ground, bleeding. Somewhere up this way, like right around here.
Okay.
I deleted the token, but his body's like right around there.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna be like, and take my shot.
Okay. All right. Roll the attack.
20.
20 hits. Roll for damage.
9 points of piercing damage.
9 points of damage. Okay. The dragon takes it straight through the wing and actually begins to flutter a bit. It's kind of having a hard time staying airborne now for the first arrow. But it's still up. Just barely. Alright, roll again.
16.
16 barely hits. Roll for damage.
Woo! Thank God for that bless.
Yeah.
The additional
Oh, yeah, I
4
forgot.
On top of my
Nice.
3 plus 9 plus 4.
Bless,
Wow.
Bless is pretty clutch, honestly. Bless and Bane. Bane is fucking awesome.
Right, that's going to be 9 points of piercing damage.
Describe this thing's demise.
So it starts fluttering, and I'm going to do my best to take and launch the shot and spear it through both wings.
Okay, so as you pierced one of the wing, the skin in the wings on its right side, and as it begins to flutter and lose a bit of altitude, it begins to kind of spiral because it can't keep the same momentum up with this side. And as it's spiraling, you wait until like just as it's going back with both wings, and you actually take an arrow and knock it and let it fly. It flies through both wings and actually catches a bit of like the shoulder too, and it pins the tiny dragon to the wall right over here by both wings hung up, and it just goes "Ow!" and just blood begins to trickle down the rock, and it sits no longer moving. All right, and then
Cool.
the crazy music stops.
I'm
It's
gonna be like,
all seems to be quiet.
did we take care of the threats, gentlemen?
Well, the tiefling took care of the threats. You wandered off somewhere apparently. Had more important matters to attend to, I assume.
Just like an elf would. Mhm.
Of course, I have more important matters to attend to. I did get that one.
Oh, you did something
He's
pretty
not
cool.
wrong.
Wow.
Okay, so like I said, it's quiet. You still hear the river trickling. You're still kind of like, that was very like realistically that was about what, less than 30 seconds or so.
Yeah.
So that was very quick, and not sure what the hell it was about. But as you approach where you're at, Nazarene, you do look up the river and see the caster's body.
Nice.
Can I go cut off the dragon wings? Man of the Wilds, I want the dragon wings. Sound good, right?
You certainly can.
I mean,
Can I?
I don't know how long we're gonna be out here. We need food.
Can
I'm
I
just gonna take the
go?
wings. That's it. I'm just
Okay,
gonna...
so you have two sets of... Well, one of the one of dragon got eviscerated by the shatter spell, so there's only one set of dragon wings, but you do get
Cool.
the slightly torn, pierced set of dragon wings. Not a lot of meat
Side
to the
note.
bones, but they're there.
I am starting to understand how easy it is to become a murder hobo in this game.
Yeah.
Because my character's not even evil, and I'm just like,
I want to
we don't know how long we're gonna be out here. We don't know what's going on. I should probably take that meat
Hey,
just in case.
you're just
I
using
know
you're
wings
using
are
every
typically-
part of the buffalo, you know? You're not wasting it.
Don't like to judge and choose what you eat. You know, you have to just survive.
It's fair.
Says the guy who plays Rogar.
Okay.
Sorry, now I'm imagining Rogar as the large golden dragonborn being like, "Don't judge me," and then like taking his food over to the corner.
Okay, so now
His food, of course, being like a dwarf flag.
Nazarene or Kieran, what would you guys like to do?
Can I examine that caster's body?
You can make an investigation check.
Oof, not good. And I got a 6.
6, okay. You don't find a lot on his person. You find like a little satchel with probably like 20 gold in it, so you can add that to your inventory. But he didn't seem to have much on him. Very strangely so. And it's weird. His staff he was carrying appears to be gone. Not sure where it is. And and his like entire body seems to almost be like decomposing, like now, which is very strange. And when you go, if you go down and during your investigation check, you kind of like one of your hands brushes up against his arm, and it's very cold to the touch, like abnormally cold. But nothing else on his person as far as like belongings go.
Feels like when we reached into that bag, coldness.
I mean, cold. So sure, not anything that makes you think they're like. It's just cold. Just cold, colder than like a dead body would probably be cold, sure, because the blood stopped flowing, but a little colder than that, probably.
That was cold. This is cold too. Haha.
Connections.
I'm just gonna kind of walk down. Past the body.
Mm-hmm.
So like up here, like see what I can see further.
Okay.
Down the path.
One thing you do notice you noticed this while looking at the body, Kieran, and you do notice this now, Nazarene, is the river, the stream that you're in, it's like the water's not very deep. It's like it barely comes like over the bottom edge of your boots as you stand in it. It's very like a light trickle, but the water is flowing towards you right now from like right to left on this map. So.
But did he get carried like away from us?
No,
like,
it's like he's like resting in the stream, and the stream's like it's like a very light, like very light stream. It's not even like much of a body of water, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not like a river or anything. It's almost like rock with water just flowing over it, basically.
Do I see anything?
Can I
Hold up, let me get you a reveal.
Back to the area that I was and just kind of like do a secondary glance to see if there's anything there?
Sure. Let me reveal this area for Nazarene really fast. Okay, so you do you go like to the edge of that where like the darkness is right now? Because up ahead you do see this like kind of a fork in the road almost with a bunch of different paths. To the south you see a couple of rocks and a path that continues that way. It's like there's like this little nook next to this kind of smaller waterfall that's coming off of the rock, and it's a very like light waterfall. Like it's not very heavy at all. It doesn't make much noise. It's almost like the water's just trickling down the rock at the same rate that it was trickling down this path. And then up this way, as you get to where you are, you do see a little bit more movement. Not movement, but a little bit more rock over here. Up that way, like another path.
Okay.
And then Ire, you said you wanted to go back to where you had wandered off to?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because I assume, seeing as how I'm not terribly intuitive, I'm still very confused about what's going on.
Okay, yeah. So you head back through, and you want to just like look around basically more. Do you want to just look, basically. Or do you want to like kind of investigate a little bit more?
I just want to look. I just want to make sure that like trying to like kind of get an idea like, is there a reason I was here?
I'll
or
give you.
Just
I'll let you do another perception check, just to take a look.
Sorry, I thought I remembered what my perception was. Oh, I did remember. 18.
18. Okay, so now that the severity of the situation is a little less, you're not coming out of a daze and getting back to a loud noise. You take a little bit of a time to just like look. These bodies of water here, like the two kind of pools you can see there, are just kind of little shallow kind of gatherings in the ground, just lower areas where water has landed. You actually do see a bit of a trickle coming off of the rock from above. Not as heavy as like the one that Nazarene's looking at, but just like water basically pooling into this area from above. Again, small bushes line the sides, but over on this side, in this north bush here, you do see something kind of below the bush. It looks like cloth from your distance, some sort of cloth.
I'm definitely going to go check that out.
Okay, so you go check it out, and you actually find what appears to be a small satchel. It's just like maybe about a couple feet wide, and just has it's kind of like a leather like lip over it and a small buckle, just kind of like stowed under this bush almost.
Okay. Is there anything in it?
You open it up, and it looks to be you see a potion that actually is about this big. It's like a vial with like a red liquid inside of it. And it actually says potion of greater healing on a label on the outside of it.
Sorry, I'm just imagining like ye old label maker.
Ye old greater healing potion.
Ye old.
But then you find another potion in it that is same style of like a vial, but the liquid is this like orange that almost undulates like yellow and red as you spin it. Like as you spin it, the color is almost like there's like this smoky haze of yellow and red in the orange as you look at it. But it doesn't have a label on the bottle. And then also there is a little like case about this big, cylindrical, almost like a thermos looking kind of thing. But you unscrew one of the ends and it appears to be a rolled up piece of parchment or a scroll on the inside.
Can I pull it out and read it?
You do. You pull out the scroll. Let's see. Make an Arcana check for me.
$16.
16. Okay, so you do have some knowledge of magic, being an arcane archer. And so looking at the different symbols along the side of the scroll and the words that are printed along it, the symbols at the top are like a big kind of like cloud on one side and like a death skull on the other. And so you kind of do a little bit of reading and surmise that this is a scroll of cloud kill. So you can look that up or add that to your inventory, and then whenever you want to use it, just let me know. And I can read
For
the
the
description,
record, this
or you
is
can look
the
it up.
symbol that I have for it. Is that accurate for Cloud Kill?
Oh,
I feel like that's...
let me look again. Yeah, sure. Why not? Okay.
Oh, that's exactly... I feel like that was pretty accurate to what you told me.
Sure.
Cool. You're like, yeah, sure. Non-artist.
Yeah, looks good. That looks great, man.
Person. That works. Yeah.
Yeah. But you look around the rest of the
Cool.
area. That's all you find is the satchel with the 2 potions and the scroll. Okay. I see you've wandered.
I'm gonna catch back up with them if I can.
Okay, so you headed back out to nobody. You see Nazarene up the river where the druid's body was. Kieran, you've wandered up here, it looks like.
Yep.
I'd say right about when you get here, Kieran,
Yep.
you hear some splashing and movement.
What direction?
Up north ahead of you. And you hear like loud kind of growls, almost like guttural noises, like and here I'll reveal the rest of that for you. But you look up this way and you do see what appears to be this kind of like alcove of some sort. And you appear to see movement. You see 2 large figures, kind of one facing away from you, looking up at the waterfall, standing about 9-10 feet at the shoulder, maybe, with ahead of you, hulking physique, with what appears to be a great axe slung over their shoulder in one hand, and what appear to be some horns that kind of spiral off the head and point upwards. And you see it kind of looking towards this waterfall. Here, I'll reveal that for you so you can see more a little bit.
Oh.
Scary.
And then you see one off to the side of it. similar physique, different fur pattern, but kind of pacing in your direction. And
as soon as I see those, I'm kind of going to slink back.
okay, yeah, you actually like kind of hear it before you even get up that far,
Okay.
and you hear it kind of breathing, and you hear one of them say, "Did you hear that noise?" And the other one says, "Oh, put a sock in it. There's lots of noises out here. Just get over here and look at this thing." And he says, "Okay." And you watch as he kind of like turns back, and they're sitting there just like staring at the waterfall. So Ire, as you walk back out, Kieran's like slowly backpedaling towards you, and like puts a hand up to his mouth, and points in that direction, and you look to see the same shapes off in the distance. And as you got closer, Kieran, and actually kind of where you guys are at, you do hear a bit of almost a roar of the waterfalls. Like the waterfall up that way appears to be a little more voluminous, a bit more water coming down, and therefore a little more noise. So yeah, that's what you see up that way.
I lean over to what's your name? Zach?
Ire.
Okay, Ire. Lean over to
Honestly, think about it as IRE.
Ire. Okay.
Ire.
Like Ire.
Like anger.
Like
Yeah.
cause people ire. But I lean over to Ire. I kind of whisper, "I think we should go find Nazarene. Looks like there's two giant pig monsters up there. Cow
That
monsters."
doesn't sound like a bad idea. And I'm gonna try to sneak. So can I roll for stealth?
I
don't
can roll
know how to
stealth
do
for you if you'd like.
You want to roll for stealth?
Do you,
Yeah.
do you both
Back
do you both want to
towards-
sneak away?
I mean, I'm just gonna walk really cautiously.
Okay, all right. I'll just do it for you
Okay.
Just sneak.
both. Okay, yeah, you guys are both good.
Stealth with disadvantage?
You kind of like walk
No.
backwards slowly, and you're kind of keeping your eye off in the distance. And again, they're both kind of just staring at the waterfall, and you're feeling like maybe the noise of the water and their proximity to the falls are helping you kind of back away. No harm, no foul. So you do get around the edge of the rock there, seemingly unnoticed. So what do you want to do?
I'm just gonna go over, see what Nazarene's doing. You know, maybe gather the troops together.
All right, so you both walk up, and you see the same thing that I described that Nazarene saw. This kind of like smaller waterfall up this way, and he's kind of wandered down to the right over by these rocks. And Nazarene, as you do get closer, you see the rocks kind of open up into this little just kind of path, more or less. And then off to your side, though, you see what appears to be another path over this way. That kind of looks like it forks off to one side and then up another way.
I'm gonna kind of turn around. Obviously, kind of not realizing that they're there. All of a sudden, be like, "Oh, hello. Was not, trying to sneak away from you guys or anything. I'm just gonna walk past you though and see what's up here. You don't have to follow me."
Okay, as you get close, Nazarene, I'll reveal this for you, but you do notice along the walls up here, I'll just kind of do this whole thing, you see some sort of kind of silk type material.
Oh, damn it.
Some kind of webbing of some sort.
No.
And as you kind of get into this little area, you see a creature you've never quite seen before.
God damn it.
And actually, I'm gonna have you roll this stealth check, Kyler, for Nazarene.
Me?
As soon as you see this creature, you kind of slow your gait, and I just want to see how that went for you.
Oh shit! Okay, I got a 6.
Interesting.
Of course.
Okay, so up ahead of you, you can see this strange creature, 8-legged, spider-like body, but where the spider's head would be, out protrudes a torso with kind of grayish, dark, almost navy skin that kind of curls up into darker gray skin. 2 arms, humanoid in appearance, and up into a head with shock white long hair that goes down its back, and you see it kind of like scrounging in these bushes and looking for something. But as soon as you see it, you kind of let out a yip without even meaning to, and the creature kind of goes ugh, and turns and looks at you and says, "Oh, what do we have here? A fresh meal wandering into our grasp." And the creature kind of wanders towards you.
Oh god.
And says, "You seem a bit lost, I'm afraid. But I'm so glad you arrived. Dinner is about to be ready."
Oh.
And that is where we'll pick up next time we play.
Fuck fairies.
Oh, it was fantastic.
It's always like
So-
instant karma. I'm certain.
Yep.
I'm not gonna lie, it's so weird being on being a PC for once.
Right? Isn't it fun?
Oh man, it's weird.
Okay, so I don't know when we'll play the next time that we do. Hopefully it'll be soon. Well, I guess for the sake of the other campaign, hopefully we won't. But depending on when we're down 2 players for the regular campaign, we'll play this again.
Yeah. Never mind. We'll talk about this later. No, that was great.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks for
I
playing,
love you
boys.
guys' characters.
Yeah, you guys have really
The
cool characters.
accent, Kyler, is fucking on point.
Yeah, very good.
No.
It's the only accent I'm good at.
And Chase, the deception.
Yeah, that was pretty
Perfect.
cool. That was a pretty
I
cool
like
idea.
it. That was a nice twist.
Handlebar mustache guy.
I still have no idea what boring mustache guy does, though.
He does stuff.
I'm
You
sure
didn't-
he does.
You didn't see any of it because you were
He
wandering.
blessed, so I assume that he cleric, but
Then you wandered off. He
fucking
did.
know.
He cast 2 spells while you were just off doing whatever, and then you missed.
I'm
You
doing
missed
what the
it.
fuck ever. I was just like, whatever. I was just don't worry about it.
Okay. All right. Well, that's it for tonight's session. Thanks for playing, guys. And hopefully we'll play this again soon.
Nope.
All right.
Hell
Say,
yeah.
say goodbye to the stream, and then we'll
Bye, stream.
bye stream. See
Bye,
you guys next week.
stream.